In this video, I will be discussing Iran's political institutions and its citizen society and the state. First, we'll start with political institutions. Now, Iran, there are three: the Parliament, the Guardian Council, and the Assembly of Experts. Next, we'll talk about its levels of government. On a supranational level, they're part of OPEC. On a national level, they have the Supreme Leader and President, a legislator, and a judiciary. On a local level, they are divided in 30 Austin or provinces and have limited authority. Towns can vote for their mayors, but the candidates must be approved by the Majlis. The executives include the president and the supreme leader. So the president, also the head of government, is Hassan Rouhani, and the supreme leader, also the head of state, is Ali Khamenei. The cabinet members are chosen by the president, and they can be removed by the vote of no confidence. In Iran, there's a dual executive, a supreme leader, and the president. The legislators in Iran is basically the Majlis, and it's a unicameral system which consists of 290 members. Their powers include the ability to pass laws with the Guardian Council approval, interpret legislation, approve 6 members of the Guardian Council, and approve the cabinet, loans, and budget. In the Majlis, there are 2 bodies. First is the Guardian Council. In the Guardian Council, there are 12 males who serve 6-year terms, and they can veto and pass laws. They can also decide who can compete in elections. The second is the Expediency Council, which is led by Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani, and it's to mediate between the Majlis and the Guardian Council. In it are 32 members, and they can originate legislation. They also consist of the powerful men in Iran. Now, parliamentary and presidential system. The parliamentary system is basically the Majlis, and the people must be Muslims, but 5 MPs are there to represent the Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians, the religious minorities. The presidential system is so that anyone can run, but also anyone can get disqualified. And it's a 2-round majority system, unless in the first round there's a majority vote winner. In Iran, there's an election every 4 years, and citizens over 18 can vote. National elections are for the president, the Majlis representatives, and the Assembly of Experts. The electoral systems. The president and Majlis are by plurality. The Majlis and Assembly of Experts are both a mixture of the single-member districts and multi-member districts. In the presidential election, there are 2 rounds, unless there isn't a clear winner. In the parliamentary election, they are divided into multi-member constituencies, and the top vote getters in each constituency get elected if they have over 50% of the vote. Iran has a couple of political parties. So the first is the Iranian Militant Cleric Society, which is a left-wing reform party led by Muhammad Khatami, and the Islamic Iran Participation Front, which is a reformist party, which is led by Khatami's brother. Its slogan was Iran for all Iranians. Third is the Executives of Construction Party. It supports Rafsanjani, and it was founded by his former cabinet members. The fourth is the Islamic Society of Engineers, led by Ahmadinejad, though people didn't support him. The last is the Islamic Labor Party, which aimed for workers and called for labor advocates. The interest groups in Iran are hard to distinguish from its political parties. There's more acceptance to them, and labor is organized, but business is not. An example of these interest groups include Islamic Association of Women, Green Coalition, and Workers' House, which is basically for farmers and factory workers. Bureaucracies. So after the revolution, they expanded quickly, and it made places for college and college students to work. And it was dominated by the clergy and its relatives, and the head ministers are all clerics. The military and other coercive institutions. The military is the Revolutionary Guard, which was established by Khomeini. It has a strong political influence, and it's becoming increasingly independent. The supreme leader also appoints the commanders, and it protects the republic, while the army, regular army, protects the border. The Basij is a volunteer militia for those who are too young to serve. It was made during the Iran-Iraq War, and their job was to enforce the strict Sharia law. The judiciaries in Iran have 2 types of laws: the Sharia, which supersedes all other laws, and the Qanun. There's no judicial review, and the Sharia allows for harsh punishments, but over the years that has lessened. And Sharia is also used to make final decisions in court cases by local judges. Next, we'll move on to the citizen society and the state. In Iran, there are different types of cleavages. For the religious cleavage, majority are Shia, 90%, while the 10% are Sunni, and around 1% are either Jewish, Christians, Zoroastrian, or Baha'i. Ethnicity-wise, 51% are Persian, 24% Azeri, 7% Kurdish, and 3% Arab. Social, the peasantry and lower middle class, they support the regime, while the middle and upper class are critical of the clerics. And there's also cleavage between reformers and the conservatives. The reformers are all for secularization, democracy, and open relations with the West. However, the conservatives, they preserve Sharia regime. They want to do that. The civil society in Iran. So before the revolution, people didn't like the government intrusion in their private lives. And post-revolution, there wasn't much of a change except for the Tehran Spring, where there was the political liberalization, loose speech and rights, good relation with West. It was reversed by Ahmadinejad, but it was once again reinstituted by Hassan Rouhani. Iran also has a very young population. More than 60% are under 30 years of age, and the regime encouraged large families because of their good capita. The media in Iran is closed off, and the Majlis has also rules that dependent speech can't be used against the government. It's illegal. The government runs the TV and radio, essentially, so the ones that they have is the Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting, the IRIB. And over the years, it became a bit more liberalized, but not to that of a high extent. And political participation representation. So after 1979, many labor unions and political parties were forced to close. And for women, there was equality with difference, so Sharia didn't really rule in their favor. It was more to men, especially in like divorce cases. They rarely got elected in Majlis. They wanted better jobs and more political rights, and they have better access to education, and they were also better represented. Men, they also have many political positions in Iran. The youth, so those over 18 years of age can vote, and that's basically the majority of the Iranian population. And the social movements in Iran included the Green Movement, and its leaders were Mir Hossein Mousavi and Mehdi Karoubi. It was for pro-democracy and a peaceful change. This all started in the 2009 election when people thought it was rigged, and the protesters wanted to remove Ahmadinejad from office. Their slogan throughout the protest was, "Where is my vote?" Essentially, this failed, and many people were arrested and jailed. Lastly, citizenship in Iran. It was based on the Iranian Civil Code, and basically those who are born in Iran, they aren't automatically a citizen, and these are the conditions in which they can be granted citizenship. So a child has to be born to an Iranian father, so no matter what, the father has to be Iranian. The woman must be married to an Iranian man, especially she's a foreign woman, and naturalization is these. So the person must be at least 18 years of age, they lived in Iran for 5 years, not a military escapee, and they didn't commit major crime anywhere. And that is all for Iran.